It's hump day, and we got a lot to talk about, guys. But you know what? We're going to kick this thing off with the game this weekend between Jackson State and the University of Louisiana Monroe. Now, Coach T.C. Taylor did go ahead and name his starter for this week, in which everyone already knows that it's going to be Jacobian Morgan. Now, one thing to keep in mind is when it comes to the Tigers, Coach T.C. Taylor is not letting all of his cards show that he has in his hands. I'm almost feeling like Coach got an ace or two up his sleeves that many of us might not be paying close attention to, but we're going to see exactly how everything goes. And I'm going to give you a quick rundown on how I think this game is going to go, because I got this strong inclination that we might see some things this weekend. But we're going to talk about it right after this. Your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow Leader Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, share these videos, and tap in the free to tell them to come on in. It's another positive vibe. We're just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow us on all social media platforms. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get on in this thing. Because only like, Coach, tell me what you think going to go down with this game here. Because I know you got a strong feeling somewhere. And I'm going to tell you right now, the one thing Jackson State doesn't have, wait, let me back up. Jackson State last season, they had a couple of injuries that took place, which kind of derailed some things for them during the season. Now, at one position in particular where they had some injuries was at the quarterback position. Now, we can honestly say the jig is up. The jig is definitely up. If you got a quarterback that's playing ball on your team, you got a strong chance in winning the SWAC. This season, next season, season after next, but you got to have them athletes around them too. We already saw what Florida A&M was able to do last week in the MEAC SWAC Challenge, where they were able to allow their quarterback, Daniel Richardson, to get out there and put on a freaking show. And guess what? That lets me know things about to get real spicy this season, especially when SWAC play hit. But right now, we got teams that's playing out of conference. They're getting everything together to see how everything goes. Now, keep in mind now, you got that State Fair game between Texas Southern and Prairie View A&M. That's going to be a game to watch as well. But we're not going to touch on that one just yet. We're going to get back to this ULM game and get to, running it down exactly what coach is seeing out here. And one thing I say is this. Jackson State ain't going to have no problem with no quarterbacks. No, sir. They're not going to have no problem with no quarterbacks. They're going to be able to get out there, make a play, and throw the ball to open receivers out there on the field. Now, one thing we can also say as well, the receiving core for Jackson State is loaded again this season with returning players and a few new faces that are going to be productive out there on the field. Is going to help the Tigers position themselves to make a run. Now, the receiving room is going to consist of some names that some of you already know, some of you may not know. These are some new folks, but I'm not naming everybody. I'm just going to name a couple of standout folks so that you guys can understand exactly who I'm talking about here. You got Rico Powers coming back once again, Taquan Henderson, Jamel Gardner Jr., Fabian McCray, and Jesse Riley, who plays at the tight end position that can also be put at a receiver to cause mismatches out there on that field, because that young man got burners on him. And when I tell you, might get you behind cooked out there, don't get mad if you line up in front and behind, think you're gonna line him up where, you're going to size him up where you think you got him boxed in and he ain't going to break wide on your tail. You better think again. That young man can get after it out there on the field with the best of it. And trust me, if he's put in the right position this season, he's going to be HELL on wheels. Trust what I'm telling you right now. But I'm going to talk about, one thing I do want to talk about is Coach T.C. Taylor naming Jacobian Morgan the starting quarterback to open the season against ULM. Now, Morgan played the 60 games last season, throwing the ball for 847 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Now, the young man did get injured during the Alcorn State game last year. I'm not for certain if he didn't have a slight injury early on in the season that prevented him from getting out there and playing in a couple of earlier games than when he was actually dubbed the starter over the team last season. But I would say this for sure. The young man has the length at the quarterback position. And not only that, but the Jackson State Tigers wide receivers, they're going to be able to use their length and their speed against ULM, who has length as well at those defensive backs. I think their defensive back core is averaging roughly around maybe 6'2", 6'2 and a half in height as far as playing out there, at the defensive back position. So we're going to see how that's going to work as well. But ULM is definitely going to try to get behind that massive line in this game, and they're going to run the ball. If you guys aren't aware that the last, the offensive coordinator, Coach Kubik, he was there when Coach Prime and the Jackson State Tigers played against ULM a few years back when I believe Bowden was the head coach over the football team. So also keep in mind is this: you got a head coach that's coming in from UAB, the previous head coach over at UAB, who was known for running the rock. So you know they're going to get back out there and go. They're going to tote that tater once again, making sure they're going to try to find a way to get out there and wear down that defensive front for the Jackson State Tigers, so that they can keep control of the clock as well as the game, keeping Jackson State from getting on the field, being able to run plays and score points to get themselves in position to possibly win. Now, Jackson State, one thing you got to keep in mind is this: they do have size and length in them trenches as well, and they will match up pretty well with ULM in the trenches. One thing for certain is technique, endurance, and who won it the most in them trenches is going to count the most in this game. If you can win in the freaking trenches, guess what? Your behind got a strong chance in getting this W this weekend. Jackson State, they got the athletes to do it. I mean, they got the depth. They got everything that they need for them to get out there and put it together. The only question is, will they be able to do just that and make it happen? So this is something that I'm going to keep a key eye on as well as in them trenches. We understand that every team has athletes. Right now, in order to win games, you got to win in them trenches. And if you don't have them trenches, you're screwed. I'm just going to be honest with you. That's the nicest way I can put that, is saying that you're screwed. But I'm going to say, I think Jackson State's offensive and defensive front will be able to pose a problem for ULM in this game, which will give them a very good chance of winning this game. Now, one thing I'll say is this: I did mention before about the athletes. Jackson State definitely has athletes at the wide receiver position, which I just named, as well as Jency Riley playing at the tight end position. And they got a couple of other big boys that's playing at the tight end position as well. But that running back room for Jackson State, my goodness, you talk about Martin, Moultrie, Miller, and a few others that's going to come out there and do what they need to do to make sure that they get them tough yards for Jackson State to continue to keep moving them chains. Yeah, we're going to see some action this weekend. It's going to be a daggone good game as far as how everything turns out. Just how the scheme is going to, be set up with both of these teams for them to get out there and for them to see who's going to get this game. One thing I'll say is both teams are definitely going to run the ball. You're going to see a lot of running the ball in this game. I believe you're going to see Jacobian get out on those edges and cause those outside linebackers as well as those corners to make a decision. They're going to make a business decision. Either they're going to come up to keep him from running the ball, or they're going to allow him to put that ball, on a target down the field to keep moving them chains and possibly, keep moving them chains and scoring points against their defense. So we're going to see how all of this is going to turn out. ULM, they definitely will try to throw the ball to test the Jackson State defensive backs to see if they are really that deal, especially from last season with them being number one in the SWAC as far as takeaway. So their defensive back room ain't no slouch. Y'all better get ready for it to see exactly how this thing is going to turn out. But one thing for certain is this: Jackson State is looking to come in there and get a W. They're not looking to walk up out of Louisiana Monroe with the L. They're looking to get that W, let everybody know that, hey, the season has started. We're not taking nobody lightly. We're coming out here to punch you in your mouth. We're looking to get a W. I do believe this is going to be a close game because ULM haven't. We're looking at a lot of teams that's getting a bunch of players out of the transfer portal. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think that this team has quite gelled together because they haven't played against anyone outside of themselves in practice. Jackson State has athletes that are coming back into the fold as far as players that played with one another on both sides of the ball last season. So this is going to bode well for them as well. I think this game is going to be close. I'm nodding towards Jackson State getting this win, 26-21. Leave your comments down below and tell me, who do you think going to get the game? Who's going to win this game? And what your score is going to be. Because I might have something on the line week one. We're going to see how this thing going to go. I want to see what type of responses I'm going to get to this before I go ahead and announce what I'm considering doing. But guys, like I said, I just want to see some great football. We got a bunch of games to cover this weekend that's going to take place. Again, if you have not checked out Tomorrow Leader Sports Network website, please go to tlsportsnetwork.com. Check out the latest article that's up there as far as the MEAC SWAC Challenge. One of the contributors to the website, Justin Favors, he dropped his article up there phenomenal articles, doing some good numbers. Salute to that young man. He's putting in some work. He also does photography. You can find him online at jfizzle on Instagram. So you can find him over there as well. The young man's doing some great work. So check him out if you need some photography work. You need pictures taken, anything like that. You know, a lot of folks, they want to get their photographs on and do the daggone thing, you know, to post up on social media. He does some great work. So if you want to get your photos taken, check him out over there at jfizzle on Instagram. Check him out. He got pictures up there online showing you some of his work that he's been able to do. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get up on out this thing. Once again, like I said, I'm just saluting the young folks out here that's putting in the work. I salute that young man for, you know, wanting to come over and do some work with me and you know, continue to keep getting this train moving, guys. Tomorrow Leader Sports Network's trying to move some things in a different direction. We're trying to get a lot more action going on. So trust and believe, we're going to be out here doing some work. But guys, Coach going to go ahead and get up on out this thing. But until next time, be the one and lead.